Cause it's the West Side Stories with the Adam Ivan. We're on vacation, so we are asshole. And we are thriving. It's the West Side Stories with your fresh asshole and Adam Ivan.
When we're on vacation.
What's up, y'all?
What up?
Welcome to another episode of West Side Stories podcast. I am your host, Wes Brenner. We do not have the illustrious and mysterious Joey Mejia with us today. He is in San Diego. Shout out to Joey. But we do have one of my favorite people in this entire fucking world. This is the coolest and motherfucking best creator and visual artist that I have ever known. Motherfucking give it up for Adam Ivan. Adam Ivan.
Thank you, Wes, my best friend.
What's up, doggy?
I miss you, man. I'm jealous. You went to the Peppers last night.
Yes, I did. Me and my mother.
Not secretly, are big Red Hot Chili Peppers fans.
We fuck with them. We fucks with them.
We both read Anthony Kiedis's
Scar Tissue.
Hell yeah,
dude.
if you haven't read it,
it's a good book.
Probably didn't age well.
Great book. Yeah,
but,
no, there is some bad looks in there. There's some bad looks.
But he knew at the time. I mean, he says that it's bad looks. I mean, he doesn't really glorify himself. But at the same time, it's like...
He definitely glorifies himself.
I haven't read it since 8th grade.
I
haven't read it since 8th grade.
I have definitely read it
since 8th grade.
yeah, I've reread it so many.
I'm sorry.
I mean, because I haven't read it, but I listened to it on Audible. Let's be real. I'm not reading things, people.
Does he do the voice for it?
No.
God damn it.
I wish he would.
Well,
that would be
Anthony
so cool.
Kiedis, write
but
a 20-year edition of the book where you added it, and then please say, be like, oh, wait, that's not Anthony. He's like, oh, we signed and then I fucked this girl.
How about the hell, man? No, that was more like Eddie Vedder.
I know, I kept accidentally doing it.
Eddie Vedder.
I think I did Alice in Chains first.
Hell, yeah, the same as the hell, yeah. Fucking Anthony Kiedis is more like
but Flea's sick too.
Boom.
But we love. But
boom, the goddamn going whap whap.
All around the world, people who suck a ding bang ding a ling bang da. You know, he just says some he just
yeah, he's gonna rhyme bang
he's like
with
Jack
bang.
Black, but not as funny, you know,
he's Jack Blah.
And
he's Jack Blah.
Yeah.
It's not Jack Black, it's Jack Blah.
Jack Blue.
Jack Blah.
Jack Blue.
Jack Blah.
Jack Blue.
Jack Blah.
There's Jack Black, there's
Blah.
Jack White, and there's Jack Blue.
And there's Jack Blah. Jack Blah.
Jack Blue.
But no, yeah, I did. I went to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers with my mom last night, and it was cool. And
I went and saw The Cure with my mom last summer, so I feel like it's cool that we can do that kind of shit.
I'm jealous
with our parents.
I wish
both our moms are cool as fuck.
Yes,
we're lucky.
Yes, that is cool. Cool moms.
We have cool.
Shout out cool moms. Shout out to our cool moms.
Shout out cool moms.
We love you,
and
cool
we're
moms.
Lucky 'cause shout out cool dads.
Shout out cool dads. Shout out cool dads.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, so happy Father's Day.
Yeah, dude.
And to all the deadbeat dads, fuck you.
Yeah, pay child support maybe.
But yeah, I haven't seen Wes in a couple months.
No, it's.
And we were living together up until a week that he moved to away. Yeah. We just got a notification from the producer. It's fine.
Yep, we definitely did.
Yeah.
And then
he told us, he was like, don't talk about that.
Yeah. But no, yeah, we were living. I was living in this house before. This is
the gothic asshole. He was living in the gothic attic.
Yeah, so I was living
the asshole attic.
Yeah, I was living in more of the gothic trachea, the gothic trachea. Yeah, the trachea up here. Because if the gothic asshole's down, you know,
kind of like the gothic nostril. It's kind of like
I was actually that's true. It's true. I was the gothic nostril. You're right, and that's what I would do. I just inhale like a gothic fucking nostril, like a vacuum,
dusty
just
place.
a vacuum of fucking sin. Just vacuuming
smoky
synth.
basement. It's just a smoky basement.
Smoky basement, man. That's what they call me. Hell yeah, dude. Fucking
Smoky basement. But yeah, we were practicing for a band.
yeah. Oh yeah.
We were building up to we were gonna be the next Morrissey and Mars. You know, the next Smith and Lowell.
Smith. That sounds like a lawyer firm or something.
We were gonna be a
Smith
gothic
and
lawyer
Lowell.
firm.
Smith and Lowell here.
Welcome to the Gothic Assholes. It's Adam and Wes and
It's Adam West.
Adam West is Gothic Asshole. We'll solve your crimes and we'll sing some sad fucking songs.
Hell yeah. No, yeah, we were gonna do fucking we were starting a group called Mauve Macabre. And it is still a group.
Mauve,
we are still a band. That is our band, Mauve Macabre.
Band's go on hiatus.
Yeah, dude. Bands fucking Zoom call to each other in the dark.
We're always zooming.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're always
Zoom practice, Zoom band, Zumba.
Yeah.
We do Zumba,
we do
practice.
Zumba, you know, the timing isn't quite there with the disconnection of Wi-Fi, but
do you think that
we're just kind of off.
Band or do you think that people are like Zumba classes they're doing them over Zoom? I'm like
There was a time. There was a time. I don't think most people want to be kept up like that anymore, you know? Like, we just got out of these times. We want to be free. Everybody's just licking each other in the face now.
What?
You know, like post-COVID, you know, the post-COVID reaction, people are just on the street just licking each other and
Post Malone COVID.
spitting on each other. You know, they don't care about, they want to get all the new fresh
I
diseases.
probably think that you are better now. Post Malone COVID.
I don't know one Post Malone song.
I just sung one.
But I am post alone. I was alone, and now I'm not.
I'm a lone post.
I was post alone.
Yeah.
I was a lone poster.
Hell yeah.
But now I got a team.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wes is visiting Seattle. He came just to see me, but then there's also a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm here. Yeah, I'm doing the. Yeah, we're doing the. Yeah, but so. Yeah, I'm in Seattle, and this is, doing the thing. What's
It's cold. It's raining. Everyone's sad and depressed and smoking fentanyl all over each other. You know, it's a grand old time. You know, it's just it's been a beautiful sunny spring, and we're all afraid of global warming. And apparently, when you're living here, were you ever aware of that Mount Rainier might explode and we're all gonna die?
Is that a real thing?
Yeah,
Mount Rainier's gonna explode?
Yeah, they're like, oh, Rainier's overdue.
Overdue? For
She's
what?
She's been pregnant.
She's been she's gonna blow?
Ready to pop. You know? No, you never heard about that? Well, since you've ever lived here, people were like, I'm so scared. There was I remember when I was in high school, there was this one article, and everybody at my fucking high school was they read it and they're like, when the big mountain pops, the lavas are gonna flow down the highways of I-5. And no, because that's apparently for whatever reason that's they built I-5 on the fault line or whatever. So it's west of I-5 is just gonna be fire and brimstone.
Just cut to a scene of just fucking fucking cars just sliding down the highway, just fucking lava. Just.
I mean, that's what they painted out to be. They're like, everyone's gonna be in mud and fire and lava.
Brimstone.
If the Rainier goes, also known as Mount Tahoma.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, there's a recent article in the Volcano or one of the the Stranger, I think, one of the local magazines, and it was just I don't know, they paint this fear because it's we live in this beautiful place, but they're the mountain, it's gonna go.
Hell yeah.
You're all gonna die.
Yeah. Don't go to that mountain.
Stop hiking immediately. Move away.
Where's
It's a paradise.
the way of the mountain?
The way of the mountain is going south.
The mountain men have gone south.
But if it doesn't go, it's pretty damn nice up here. You know, it doesn't really snow or freeze, and it's like in the summer we're not like choking and dying on the air or like the sun. Which is nice.
No, it's good. It's not like a. I mean, I got back and I was expecting more cold. Like I was expecting to be a little colder, and I was like, oh, nope, it's not. It's not too cold. So,
back to the Seattle forecast. You know, weather. Weather.
Yeah, the weather. Yeah. Yeah, whether to jump or whether not.
Whether or
to. Not. Whether or not to jump. That's a Seattle forecast for you.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all.
Whether or not to step over the. I wish you would step back from that
Are a lot of
ledge, my
people
friend.
so in Seattle right now?
Cut ties on last.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people drugs. So there's a lot of people on the
drugs.
streets of Seattle right now. They're suffering from fentanyl. What's that like in San Diego? Is that a similar crisis?
It's I mean, there's definitely like a lot of crazies and homeless and shit in San Diego. Like, I don't know.
But is it? Can you connect it to like like how it's easily connected in Seattle in these kind of groupings of obviously like it's like drug use, or is it less connected? I mean, it's also just a different place, and I haven't spent a lot of time in San Diego, so I can't really generalize it.
It's pretty but it is like, I mean, that kind of stuff goes like from city to city, because I have been to like other cities and seen pretty similar shit. And San Diego and Seattle, like, there's not that much difference in like the homeless and stuff. Like, I mean, like, you know, there's just people trying to get
the
by.
West Coast is definitely like a hot spot for it. It's all oceans.
Yeah.
You can all camp out. You
Yeah.
can camp out at a beach in your car. You know, it's a lot easier than the East Coast per se.
For sure.
But, you know, I don't want to get into that much.
No, it's probably hard. I mean, it's probably much easier to like, to do the fucking like.
It's colder in Seattle, so I imagine, you know, San Diego, it's a little bit easier, you know, just to hang around, you know, but because the weather can get so brutal here. But it's nothing compared to like the East Coast, man. Like, I wanted to live in New York so bad. I want to go to. I'd love to live in New York, but like, I've never even been to like winter in the New York on the East Coast, and I'm literally from Seattle, where it's. I've like never been in like negative temperatures or like crazy like ice storms or snowstorms. You know, like like. Have you ever lived anywhere where it was like freezing?
No, not really. I definitely have not like ever had like temperature. Like, I don't think I've had like ever faced like a cold or a winter storm that like I've heard about. You know, like I've heard stories about like Midwest fucking winters
privilege.
and like that kind of shit where it's just like so crazy. I've had like just I've never been like that like locked in. I've always been Washington, you know, up here. So
I don't own like a single like large like down jacket. Like I just like Christmas Story myself with like 30 sweaters when it gets like 30 degrees, and I'm like, I'm dying, and I'm like falling over in the street. You know, I'm just like, fuck.
You're just like pretending you're like a fat man or something. You're like have
I'm
like
trying
50,
to put on weight. And I'm
you're like you're a fat
under,
suit.
I'm
you
like,
know, like
I'm like deathly underweight. Yeah,
like,
I literally have a fat suit on because
like,
I'm just like trying to like pack on the extra temperature.
My friend and me, like back in the middle school, we would like put like pillows into it. Like he actually like would do this, but like I think I would like
When it was cold?
do it too. No, just to create fat suits.
I did
We would
that.
like stuff pillows and stuff into clothing and just make these giant like get like oversized like 4X shirts and pants and stuff, and then stuff them with like pillows and then just make giant fat suits, and we just like waddled around the town like walking around like in these giant fat suits.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
fat.
hey, hey. Ho, ho, ho.
Fat Wessie and the boys.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of that. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a Pokemon trainer.
Hell yeah.
I thought I was like,
Catch them all.
I was like throwing on the cap.
Yeah.
I was like going
Dude,
outside,
that cap
bro.
is sick. That cap is pretty fire. I was eyeing that before the pod started. Things.
So being stuck in the childhood, But when I was a kid, like I was in summer camp, and me and my bros were like, "Yo, Deoxys is over there, bro."
Deoxys?
Yo, Rayquaza's in the sky.
Oh, Rayquaza.
We were like Gen 3 kids.
Wait, because I think I pronounce
Rayquaza.
No, Rayquaza.
Deoxys.
Deoxy.
There's so many. Deoxys was like this space alien.
I remember those names. Yeah, Rayquaza. These were like, this is like a Ruby Sapphire.
Emerald.
Era, yeah.
Era.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was like.
It's
That's
Pokemon.
when I,
we're
like,
talking
got-
Pokemon. This is Pokemon talk
Yo, we're
here.
down. This is
Here,
now
like, super
nerd talk.
Nerd Pokemon
Nerd
talk.
hour. We're off the weather.
We're off of weather and we're into Pokemon.
And the weather cycles in Pokemon Gold and Silver, bro, because Gold and Silver was where that shit was the dankest. You had fucking Pichu and Entei, Raichu, and Suicune, the dogs.
The dogs.
The three
The dogs. And Houndoom. The dogs, bro. Poke dogs.
Yeah.
Who let the dogs out?
But they're like, they're like, this shit's ancient. They're like the unknowns in the caverns. They're like, this is dark and dangerous. And Pokemon just never was as cool since then, But that's what they always say, like the old Gen 1ers. They're like, it hasn't been cool since Charizard.
I don't know. I think
Mewtwo.
where does Pokemon? I mean, this is actually a good conversation. Where does Pokemon tap out for you?
So I was in about middle school.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'll never.
For me, that's Gen 5. So basically, like Diamond and Pearl were out. I didn't really play it, but I was like, these Pokemon are cool. Whatever, it's cool. Black and White came out. I was like, Like a lot of people got into that. They're like, it gets into religion and the Pokemon are crazy. And I was like, but the designs just like started kind of like getting off and shit. And then after that, on the DS when I was like a kid, they like went through a whole throwback and they were like Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Yeah.
And it was like the upgrade of the old and the new. And so I always was like hella nostalgic. But when I was in high school, and this progresses it. There's a game called X and Y, and it was like the first 3DS Pokemon game.
I kind of remember that.
And
they had those weird like keep going. Yeah, they had the weird like little
fairy type.
Those
was introduced.
Yeah, and they had those weird little things, right?
Oh, the Pokewalker. Are you talking about the Pokewalker? No. What are you talking about? The weird little thing.
Oh no! I'm actually thinking. I'm like those symbols, those like Arabic Pokemon symbols. But I'm actually thinking.
Oh, that's from
That's like
that's from Golden. That's from Gold and Silver.
Earlier.
The unknown.
Okay, the unknown.
Are you talking about the unknown?
I'm not talking about the unknown. That's what I'm talking about.
So that goes back to where
that's
like
OG.
Even as a kid, I was kind of like the OG is like kind of better because like I hate being like the artist kid because I got really into the art more as opposed to the game. But like the artist like Ken Sugimori, he like stepped back after like a few games and he's like, I'll just let different people do the art and illustration, and it started to like kind of become apparent around then, and like I just kind of fell off, and then I don't know, Pokemon just like it's really like every single game is just supposed to introduce it to a whole new audience of kids, and then so speed up to like 2021. They released this game called Pokemon Arceus on the Nintendo Switch. and it's like this fucking like RPG Pokemon game where literally you can like throw a ball at a Pokemon and catch it, and it might even catch it if you like hit it from behind. It's like gotcha. You know, it's like more Pokemon in real life. Like you gotta like roll up on it, and the Pokemon can fucking kill you. Like if like if you're
the
not,
Pokemon can kill you.
Yeah, no, it's the first game
it just
where
murders you.
You can actually like if you run out of Pokemon, you can decide to just like throw items.
Scythers.
Bro, if you're level 1 in that game, you can. Bro, you can.
No slicing.
No, it's like that. There's blood. No, I wish, but no, you can it's hella cool because in the first round there's just like a bunch of weak Pokemon in front of you, and then you go off a little bit off the path, bro, and there's a Snorlax there, and you're like, I got 2 Pokemon, and you're level 30, I'm a level 2, and he fucking body slams you, you're all dead. Just like on, just like on the fucking like you just all die, you know, like and they're like start the fuck over, you're not ready. So it's like, and then like people wanted that for the new game, and they didn't do that. And it was so whack. And then it sold more than any Pokemon game ever. And it was fucking broken. And the thing is, it's because kids are buying it more than adults. So it doesn't even matter the quality of game that they release. They can literally have the lowest score on a game and like the least quality of a game they've ever made. And it'll sell better than any game they've ever made. So that just kind of stands a testament to like the franchise and like the fan base. But they're coming out with another Arceus game, which means you're about to be able to beat up Pokemon again, and they're going to be able to beat up you. And that's, like, way more fair, because, like, the older Pokemon games, it's just, like...
You can fight the Pokemon, so it's, like, fucking, like, straight, like...
You can go one-on-one against them, and they're just going to fuck you up.
It's like Australians, like, and, like, fucking fighting kangaroos, like, hey, mate, like, can I...
Pokemon Australia edition.
All right, mate.
Giant spiders...
You got
and
nice them hands,
the
mate.
The scariest thing you've ever seen, you know, because of the
give them a little 1-2, did they?
Craziness happening in Australia with their insects and their mammal life. You know, they just somehow hyper advanced.
Yeah.
In Australia, they just somehow like
all the animals and insects in Australia have fucking have been like doing all the ketamine and fucking.
All the LSD.
Yeah.
They've just been somehow.
There was an LSD leak into the barge of Australia.
And it's because it's a criminal. It's like a criminal. People other than the indigenous life in Australia, they were all criminals from England that took it over. Like it was like the criminal, like the prisoners in England that colonized it, and like the fucking. So they were just like. Spilling all their drugs and shit, just like into all their acid, you know. Like this is like 200 years ago, but they had LSD.
Yeah.
200 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're spilling it into the ground, and then the spiders, you know, they went through the free love movement. You know, they went through the post-acid era, and then they learned how to use it to their evolutionary advantage.
Yeah.
Like we will in 300 years.
Yeah, no, it was crazy.
Welcome to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, the acid evolution. Shit. No, I was getting distracted because fucking PJ's trying to like. Wait, do you have PJ's number?
PJ, hit me up.
Because he's trying to text me. Like
I have his Instagram.
Text him, or can you Instagram him and just say like Wes's.
Should I Instagram call him and see if I can get him?
Yeah, Instagram call. Yeah.
PJ, try stand up. All right.
Instagram call.
All right, quick. It's not gonna work, but we're gonna call him.
Because I'm trying to tell him that I'm gonna come do a pod with them after this.
He's gonna do a third pod.
Yeah, this is my third pod for the day, but like. Anyways, this is not great radio, but hey, sorry.
Yo.
PJ, you're on West Side Stories podcast. I'm on.
Welcome to.
I'm on the air. Sorry.
What's up, dude?
I fucking am using my phone to record. We have like 20 more minutes or 25 more on here, and then I'm gonna close up, and then I'll cruise your guys' way. Is Rob over there?
No, he's not here yet. I was just trying to see what the the plan was. But yeah, just fucking get at me, bro. I'm chilling. I'm ready.
All right, cool. I'm gonna head your way after I come.
Ready.
After I come there.
All right, buddy. Well, shit. Y'all have a good night.
All right, fuck yeah.
PJ, motherfucker. Fuck you.
Hey,
Fuck
good night, guys.
you.
I love you, dog.
All right.
Hell yeah, that was PJ. that was, okay, so anyways, so fucking.
We used to have shows in downtown Seattle.
Yeah, we did some shows.
Comedy art shows, and it's funny because they were like a total mess. But like we got to do them like for free, and nobody would come, and it would be like a drunk aunt from Texas, and like a friend of a comedian.
Yeah.
And then PJ would come say like the most offensive thing that you've ever heard in your life, and like my coworkers would be there and be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And somehow I met my girlfriend there, or my girlfriend came there, and she thought it was funny. But you know, PJ's a select brand of humor. You know, fine aged wine.
No,
went up to PJ.
Yeah, the audience of this, if we have any audience, they definitely love PJ. Shout out to
even if one person watches this, go watch PJ's podcast.
Yeah, hell yeah, podcast for sure. We will.
PJ's the man, especially if you don't give a fuck about your life or your values.
No,
just kidding. I miss PJ. He lives in Marysville.
No, don't
PJ
dox
lives
him.
in Marysville.
Don't dox him. Don't dox him.
I mean, PJ lives in Mary's house. His girlfriend.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
So, Pee-wee's Playhouse.
How did you feel when Pee-wee died?
I'm shook. So, unfortunately, I'm a huge Pee-wee Herman fan. Like, you know, that's just my life. You know, grew up that way. You know, I wasn't masturbating in theaters. You know, I was close. But
you weren't molested by Pee-wee Herman as a child.
No, luckily he wasn't molesting people either. just to throw that out there, Pee-wee Herman was not molesting.
No, Pee-wee Herman was not
he's
molested.
Actually the best. I love Pee-wee. I miss him.
We
the saddest thing is, this week I bought a T-shirt that he wore. Like I literally purchased a T-shirt that he wore in a photo. Like, that's how much that, like, I love Pee-wee Herman.
He wore it in a picture?
Yeah, there's this photo of Pee-wee Herman in, like, the early 80s wearing, like, this Astro Boy T-shirt.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I was, like, on Etsy the other day, and it's crazy because all these Astro Boy T-shirts, if you know me, I love Astro Boy. He's from, like, the 60s Japanese cartoon character. All these Astro Boy T-shirts from, like, the 90s are, like, going from, like, $100 to, like, $500 to, like, $1,000, right? Like, it's just stupid, you know, but I had one of these shirts back in the day, and I sold it for, like, $100, but that same shirt's going for, like, $500 now, because fucking Bjork wore it, but I love Bjork, too, so I get it. But Pee-wee Herman, Paul Rubens, a.k.a. Pee-wee Herman, wore this shirt in a photo, and people have sent it to me my whole life, because I love Pee-wee and I love Astro Boy, and they're like, bro, this picture, this is you. And I'm like, yeah, but I want that T-shirt. And so I've always kept an eye out, and I've literally never seen it, bro. And I was like bored at work on Etsy the other day, and I saw this shirt, and I was like, and it was really cheap, and I was like, damn, that's a sick shirt. And I was like, yeah, that's old. That's like 80s, but like that print looks familiar. And I went back to that picture, which is black and white, and I double checked the image, and I was like, shit, that's the same shirt. But the shirt, the graphics are like pink and green. It's like a Jetsons colorway. You know, it's like hella bright. But like the picture's black and white.
Yeah.
So I never knew that. So I just like, it was $35 though. You know, like it was a great price. You know, I'm a whore for old T-shirts.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Unfortunately, and so, but yeah, so yeah, that's how. I mean, I love Pee-wee. You know, I even love a lot of the artists who like worked on his TV show and shit. A lot of these, you know, a lot of the stuff I love about Pee-wee, like, I think Pee-wee's funny, but I think, like, the aesthetics of, like, the Pee-wee shit was, like, crazy, but it's because, like, a lot of really fucking crazy artists, like, worked on the show and, like, wrote the show, and then, like, the first Pee-wee movie was Tim Burton's first movie.
Oh, yeah. What was that dude fucking Elf somebody? that like there's like he makes music for
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Danny
I saw
Elfman's
his
the
name.
man.
I saw his name in
also,
something.
Also, that he was in a band in the 80s called Oingo Boingo, and they're fucking sick.
Yeah.
And then he went on to like be this giant composer.
Yeah.
And is like fucking amazing and like composed for all of Tim Burton's movies and shit.
In other movies too.
He composed for Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah. Okay.
Batman, Nightmare Before Christmas, like probably over 100 movies.
Okay, that's cool that he was in Oingo Boingo.
He was a lead
And
singer.
He's Party in the parking lot. Party in the parking lot. That's Oingo Boingo, right?
Dead Man Party.
Dead Man's Party.
They have a lot of great songs. They're crazy. So one of the band members from Oingo Boingo, if I believe, did the theme song for Rugrats, too.
Okay.
So that was also a crossover.
That's sick. Okay, hell yeah.
But basically, did you see the new trailer for the new Beetlejuice movie?
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice
No.
The trailer dropped.
Okay.
It's horrible, bro.
Really?
Dude, I don't know, man. It's like, so basically, like, Tim Burton, he watched Wednesday.
Yeah.
Which is, like, the show
on
Netflix
about
last year.
Yeah.
And then he got, like, really hard and, like, blew his load over this chick in the show and was like, I need to make Beetlejuice 2 in, like, a year. And he did. And, like, I remember my coworker was like, oh, it looks like the craziest, like, stop-motion animation. And I was like, oh, cool, stop-motion animation. And I watched the trailer and I was like, no, that's, like, the worst CGI I've ever seen in my life. Like, just, like, it just looks like fucking garbage. But it's crazy because, basically, ever since the pandemic, like, animation studios and movie studios, they're fucking dying. They're just, like, they cannot sustain, like, a team. They can't keep their shit together.
Fuck.
So, basically, the CGI from, like, 2008 to, like, 2018, probably some of the best computer animation we're ever going to get. Because now AI art makes everything.
Fuck.
Humans used to do all the CGI by hand, and now it's just a chore to do all that shit. You can just have AI.
So now until the robots catch up to the humans, it's going to be lacking.
Yeah, no,
so
I mean, no. The humans made the computer surpass them, so they don't have to do that shit anymore. They're just gonna have AI-assisted animation in movies now. Like they're like in like 2 or 3 years, you're gonna see it like a King Kong movie where like the hair looks better than like the Peter Jackson movie that came out in like 2006, which looked insane because he had like the Lord of the Rings team making a fucking King Kong movie.
Yeah.
But it's like you're gonna see this like crazy looking movie in like 2 or like maybe a year even, and you're gonna be like, whoa, that's the craziest thing I've ever looked. And the animators are gonna be like, yeah, it's all fully AI assisted. And even like 20 years ago, yeah, it was all assisted by an algorithm that they made that was probably assisted by a type of AI that they created. But now we just have like really simple learning algorithms that'll just take the wheel and basically cut the teams in half of the people that you actually need to create your movies. And Disney's fired everybody. The gaming industry, they're firing everybody. There's these huge layoffs right now. Disney bought everything and has destroyed everything. They bought all of Marvel. They bought all of Disney. They have basically tanked everything that they commoditized and took over.
Really?
Yeah, it's really sad and really horrible. And
what
they can't,
the fuck?
you know, so, and they own everything.
That's crazy. Disney
they
owns
own
it.
you.
Yeah. Disney owns me. Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
They own us.
Fuck. Dog.
Actually, they don't own me or you, but like they own a lot of shit. And
they could own us though. Disney.
I mean,
Disney. We would love Disney if you would like to sponsor West Side Stories podcast.
Yo, so West Side Stories is actually now on Disney Plus. and Hulu, which they just bought. And
we're on Hulu.
All these other things that they own.
Damn, that's crazy. Fuck.
So Crunchyroll just dissipated the anime streaming service, and now it's just like Hulu and Disney Plus, and like they don't even like advertise anime anymore. So anime is just like falling apart right now in America.
God damn.
Yeah. So if you watch anime in America,
Maybe Miyazaki's
sucks.
last movie did make more sense than I thought.
So so Hayao Miyazaki, they released their movies with Disney for hella long time, and basically around like 2010 something, they were like, Disney, you're not like putting our movies in theaters, you're literally just like pushing us out on DVD releases. So they left Disney. So Hayao Miyazaki, honestly, props for not being a part of Disney.
Yeah, because Disney is just like a fucking...
A big fucker.
Just
sucker.
a conglomerate, just eating, just...
That's what they're doing.
This is a fucking dwarf star just fucking sucking all...
Yeah, they made superhero comics even lamer.
Supernova.
They made Star Wars lame. They don't have any original cartoons that are cool. They've fired so many people and lost so much money, and all the money they make is on their theme parks, which are based on all their old properties. So it's like,
That's crazy.
you know, thanks for ruining Western society.
That's fucked, dude.
Yeah.
How did you start like getting into like doing comics and?
I was into Disney, but I was like into Pixar, so I was like watching Toy Story, and I really liked Toy Story and shit, but like when I started drawing and stuff, I was looking at like Japanese art, like I was like
Miyazaki and
yeah, but like before Miyazaki, I was really into fucking I was really into Pokemon. We've already talked about that, but I was
love Pokemon.
I was really into Shonen Jump. So I remember
Shonen
the
Jump.
first time
Shonen
somebody
Jump
at
was the
school
shit.
was like, "Yo, look at this Bible.
Yeah.
Look at this big old thing. Look at this big old book. Boom."
Hell yeah.
And they dropped this thing, and it had like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z and like One Piece, all in like this collected.
Rest in peace to Akira.
Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama, who ended up out of all those artists. Like I love Naruto. I didn't get into One Piece as a kid. I was a huge Dragon Ball Z fan from around like age like 8 or 9, and basically, my parents were like resellers on eBay, and they're into old shit. So I was like going on eBay and looking at all these art books, and I was like, I want to buy Akira Toriyama art books, and like I was going to like this place in Seattle. It's called Uwajimaya, and they have this giant bookstore called Kinokuniya, and it's full of Japanese books, and you could go in and just like buy any Japanese book you wanted, like old or new. And so I was just buying all these Dragon Ball Z books, and this book, and this show called Bo 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 Bo.
Bo.
Which was like this crackhead anime on Cartoon Network. Cause like
Yeah.
I loved like
It's Boba Tea crack.
I loved like SpongeBob and Dexter's Laboratory and all these really like funny crackhead American shows. But then Cartoon Network, they were like showing like Pokemon and Naruto and Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And I got really into that, man. And I loved Hayao Miyazaki. But like Japanese cartoons were dirtier.
Yeah. Yeah.
They, you know, like
Definitely.
like American cartoons were just like SpongeBob, and after a while, it's like, where's the titties?
Yeah. Yeah. There were
Where's the
lack of
blood?
titties.
Where's
yeah.
the blood?
Yeah, blood and titties. Yeah.
And blood and titties, you know, really changed the game. And Japanese
Bloody
cartoons,
titties.
they always blended the line Japanese cartoons between like adult and kids, and in Japan, it wasn't really like super kid centric as much it was in America.
Yeah.
And in the 80s they made this movie called Akira. And that comic and that movie, when it premiered in America in 1988,
Yeah.
the same time it did in Japan, that was like the turning point for Americans. They were like, nah, cartoons can't be for kids. So like anime finally started coming to America, but it wasn't like the little kid shit. It was like the really like crazy gruesome like robots beating each other up and stuff. Like the whole like
Gundam,
and like Ghost in the Shell and all these like kind of like dirtier, more persuasive animes started coming out on like VHS.
Yeah.
And Laserdisc.
Yeah.
And they were like really hard to get, and you could like buy like mail order these comics in. But then in the late 90s, what changed the game, bro? Pokemon. And that's when like really little kids, like Pokemon had this giant drop in America. They were like, video games, TV show, trading cards, Burger King, fuck your mom, and they just like they got everybody, you know.
Yeah, Pokemon crushed.
And then after that, they were like, oh shit, we're gonna start pushing this shit on kids. We're gonna start putting these shit on kids. So it was like Sailor Moon, which was already out before Pokemon, and then it was like Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh, and all this shit like exploded in America, and that's like our generation was like what our generation in the late 90s and early 2000s. We were the first kids exposed to Japanese cartoons as Japanese cartoons. Like in the 60s, they had like Speed Racer, and they were like, oh, that's that weird show where like the words don't link up right, and everybody dies and like blows up. And they were like, oh, that's sick. But they didn't know why. They were like, oh, it's just some weird cartoon. But there was like Japanese cartoons spliced in to like the Jetsons and the Flintstones and like Scooby-Doo and shit back in the day.
They're spliced in? Like
No. I mean, they were
just
like they're sprinkled. They're sprinkled
just like
in.
culturally
they're sprinkled
like,
in. But then, like, and because of that, like, an adverse effect of that is, like, Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
Which is, like, Hanna-Barbera inspired by Sailor Moon and Godzilla. Like, that's what Powerpuff Girls is.
Okay.
So it's just, like, Japanese.
And Hanna-Barbera is...
Hanna-Barbera made Scooby-Doo, Flintstones, Jetsons, and, like, all the really popular
So it's a
cheap.
company?
It's a company that came out in the 50s.
Basically like Walt Disney or whatever.
They're like Disney.
Or Disney,
so
but,
they started
like,
at MGM. They made Tom and Jerry in the 1940s for MGM. And then they're like, oh, animation's getting expensive, but it's really popular.
Yeah.
So we're going to make it cheap as fuck, and we're going to put it on primetime TV. So they made... my brain is fucked. The Jetsons, but before they made that, they made the Flintstones, which was like based on the Honeymooners, which was like this really big TV show in the 50s.
Okay,
that was like the
I've
biggest
heard
TV
that.
show, but it was like
Or
the
you've told me
Honeymooners
that, I think.
set in like the cave times, and then like the Jetsons came out, and then the show that they really blew up with was Scooby Doo, and then they made like 200 shows that basically tried to capitalize off of those exact same aspects.
But didn't work.
But didn't really work. I mean, like, Yogi Bear kind of worked in, like,
Not
certain
really,
shows, but, like, Snagglepuss kind of worked in, like,
No.
there was a show called Hong Kong Phooey.
Yeah,
you know, so it was,
I've
like, a
heard of it,
fucking, like, it was a hodgepodge of, like, so many shows. And the last 2 shows they ever produced, can you guess? Going back around. Animation lesson. I'm just going to say it. It was Dexter's Laboratory. It was Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Laboratory.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Dexter's Laboratory.
And then the owners died, and the company just became defunct. But those were 2 of the most popular shows that they ever created.
Those were sick, dude. Those were 2 really impactful shows for me.
Those were the 2 biggest shows I watched as a kid.
I loved those. I loved both.
Dexter and Powerpuff Girls.
I loved both. Yeah.
I thought Nickelodeon was cool. I wish I grew up with Ren and Stimpy a little younger. I got into that when I was older.
I didn't get to watch Nickelodeon. Or I mean, yeah, my parents were like kind of like wise to that shit, and they were like, no, like
this is dark.
Yeah, they were like, this is like,
this is for adults.
Yeah, they were like,
is
this is scary, and I was a bitch. I was like a little pussy.
In this are so dark and sexual, and now like Dan Schneider comes out, and like the creator of fucking Ren and Stimpy, they're all fucking creeps.
Yeah,
so, it's like, it was there. But at the same time, Cartoon Network existed because Adult Swim existed. Adult Swim and Cartoon Network were created at the exact same moment with one TV show called Space Ghost Coast to Coast. And
Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah, and it's like this fake cartoon reality TV show that the Eric Andre show is based off of.
Okay.
So it's basically like the main inspiration for the Eric Andre show.
Whoa, that's cool.
But it's like they got fucking everybody. They got like the Beach Boys and like the Ramones and like all the popular comedians of the time, and they made a cartoon character from the 60s talk to him with reused animation and like completely just make fun of him and cap on him because like they were able to edit the cartoon after they edited the actual celebrities. So literally, like, the Eric Andre show is like a live action version of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, which turned into Cartoon Network and then turned into Adult Swim with shows like Harvey Birdman, which is the same concept that reuses like 60s animation but recontextualizes it in an adult way.
Whoa.
So
What the fuck, dude? Holy shit.
yeah, it's dope as
That's
fuck.
crazy, the
And-
fucking connections like between
Yeah,
all of those
yeah,
different things.
Yeah, animation history is
Wow.
sick.
So then you get to Cartoon Network.
You get to Cartoon Network, and basically they make these amazing shows, and then you get like Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, which is like
Yeah.
this Jamaican
Yeah, I
dude with
remember
these
that.
kids. And I didn't realize it till recently, but they literally like die at the end of every episode.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
At the end of every single episode, they're lost in like another dimension or a void where they literally cannot get out of, and that is the end of every single fucking episode.
Damn.
And then you got shows like Flapjack, which is
Okay,
about
I
an
remember
alcoholic, but he's addicted to maple syrup and candy, and
Yeah.
he raises a child inside of a whale's mouth.
Okay, yeah, I never
they're-
really saw Flapjack.
And Chowder.
Chowder,
But
never
you
really
watched
saw
Adventure
Chowder.
Time?
I watched a little bit of
Okay,
Adventure
cool.
Time.
Wes is a grown man. So basically, Cartoon Network, it was sick, but it fell off, It just fell off. Same as Nickelodeon did,
Yeah.
They just kind of fell off. Like, they had certain shows that would, like, keep them cool after a while, but Nickelodeon, like, stayed, like, super lame, to be completely honest. Cartoon Network tries, but I don't even know what the fuck is up with that shit anymore. Like, I'm pretty nostalgic.
Did you like, because I know a lot of people are, like, super big on the Nickelodeon, like, shows back in the day, like, Rocket Power.
Bro, you want to talk
or-
about some crazy shit? I was watching, do you remember All That?
What's that?
All
No.
That was like a sketch comedy show on Nickelodeon in the 90s
Okay.
with like Amanda Bynes and Kenan Thompson from SNL.
Okay.
And it was like hella big, and like you can watch it on like Netflix right now. I'm just watching this episode right now, bro. And it was like the second episode of the show, and it was like All That introduces the foreign kid, and it's fucking Kenan Thompson as like a little kid playing like this African stereotype character in like a classroom full of like white kids, and they're just like totally just like idolizing him, and he's just like fucking with him super hard because he's like pretending like he's like not like civilized, but he is. Like, and it's like the darkest shit I've seen on TV in like a long time. And it was like literally from like a child's SNL parody show on Nickelodeon from like 1994.
Oh my god.
And this is the shit that like Dan Schneider like started making. He's like in the show. Like I was like watching the show, and Dan Schneider, who like made like all these Nickelodeon shows that came out, that he like fucking like showed a lot of them porn and like molested them.
Yeah. Quiet on set. Yeah.
But like he was like in that show.
Yeah.
Like he was like directing it, but he like played like a character in it. Like so like you can go on Netflix right now and like watch Dan Schneider like interacting like with the same girls that have like come out like about him like doing like horrendous shit. It's pretty.
Well, but actually, I don't think it was. He didn't actually do anything. Like it was just, but he was just an asshole and did really creepy shit. Like had them like do super creepy. But it didn't come out.
They would like show him porn and shit.
Yeah, exactly. But there wasn't anything like like nothing's come out where he's actually like
no.
done
But
anything.
he was like producing these like shows with like these kids and just like bringing them over and showing them porn. But you know,
wait,
I
I
was
think
watching porn when I was in high school. So,
Yeah. And somebody butt fucked Drake or Josh, one of them. Josh, right?
I gotta take a piss so
okay,
bad.
go. You're good.
Okay.
You're good. I can one mic this right here. Yeah, we got plugs. Yeah. If you like Adam Ivan, check out Adam Ivan on all social media. You can check out his comic. He just came out with a comic. This is a Decapitina right here. This is a comic that Adam Ivan just put out. It's available probably online on his store. You can go look up Adam Ivan on any like social media platform or whatever, like. But yeah, Decapitina is the comic that Adam just came out with, and I'm trying to see if I can do this where I can do a little comic doing, trying to talk and also show some pages, some panels. So look, there's some panels. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, but Adam Ivan, check it out. It's some super cool comics. Yeah, he's got another comic called Trove, which is also really awesome. Trove Part 1 and Trove Part 2. So those are both pretty sweet. So you can find them. Yeah, where can they buy those? Where?
/decap. Oh yeah, fucking A.
Where can you use where can
Decapatina. If they wanted to buy
it,
you can buy my newest book,
Yeah.
DECAPATINA.com. Decapatina.bigcartel.com. Follow me on Adam Ivan
Decapatina.
Instagram. That's where I am right now. You know, working on a couple of other things, but most importantly.
But what were you saying? So we were still in the cartoon. Oh yeah, so Dan Schneider.
Bro,
and, Cartoon Network.
Nickelodeon was a wild time in the 90s. Like, the dude who directed fucking Ren and Stimpy would bring his 16-year-old girlfriend around to the studio, you know? So
I heard. Ren and Stimpy was
John
pretty weird.
Belushi. So it was like a dark time, you know, like in the 90s with that shit. And he's not allowed back into the animation industry. But now he's just, like, doing great with art shows in L.A., so, you know. One industry to another.
Closes their doors, another opens their
Yeah. Him and George Clinton are just having fucking art shows together. Not that George Clinton is canceled. He's just having art shows because he's a painter now, which is dope. And I love George Clinton.
Which is a weird like parallel that like George is like having art shows and then Sly is like on Skid Row.
Yeah.
Like
I think
Sly.
Yeah, I hope Sly Stone, man.
Sly Stone wasn't Sly Stone on Skid Row?
Yeah, seriously, man.
Like there was video or footage of him on Skid Row.
Yeah,
right?
man. Yeah,